Hi, and welcome back for another fitness presence workout. Today we're going to be working comprehensively, working on everything, but we're going to focus on our balance. We're going to start sagittally, right? So the plane coming straight at you. And I want you to really pay attention to finding your core, reaching nice and high, and just find your balance. Okay, so we're going to start off. As we drop in, try to keep your knees coming forward, head up, and reach out. And then as you're coming through, pull your arms all the way around. And as you're pressing into the ground, up onto your tiptoes, lean forward, almost like you're leaning over the wall to look down, and then come back down again, and breathe all the way up. And as you reach to the sky, pull your shoulder blades down your back and press your hips a little bit forward. What we're attempting to do is to allow ourselves to find balance when we're not perfectly in alignment. And that whole process, you should be almost out of balance this entire workout, a little bit, right? Leaning forward, drop your heels, pull through, reach to the sky, curl your abdominal muscles up as you look over the edge, and find that balance. And then let's swing it back down again. This is all very full range movement in the sagittal plane, just learning to think about how much range of movement can you have and still have fantastic balance through the range and come through. And when I say fantastic balance, that does not mean you're not losing your balance sometimes. Again, you're almost constantly losing your balance a little bit when you're working on balance. Let's get into the frontal plane. And when I'm doing frontal plane, I want to think about being in alignment here, and that's where the movement is, right? So you're not leaning forward, you're going to stay as much as possible on the frontal plane and just drive yourself sideways. Now, from a strength perspective, let's do some antagonist work as you pull your arms all the way around from side to side and pay attention to that body balance. Ground yourself and feel that work. All the way through, finding your balance, laying yourself down in that same plane of movement as you come around and through, and breathe all the way over and drop it down. Let's get a couple more each side here. And breathe through, and come on up over, and breathe all the way over. Let's come back one more time to each side. And again. So we're doing some balance work right here at the beginning on both feet. Eventually we'll swing up onto one foot to make the balance more difficult. As we're doing this transverse movement, I want you to think about how, as you swing through, you're balancing yourself all the way around and coming down. And of course, momentum and movement sometimes makes the balance a little tougher, and that's okay. We can move quickly, but you don't want to move too fast into the edges of your range of movement, because we want to be conscious of resisting injury. But I'd like you to feel that. And again, I want you to feel a little bit imbalanced as you're moving through. See how think about taking your feet and you're going to rotate on the heel, up onto the front heel, rotating through, all the way around, and come again. Now we're going to drop in, come back on the sagittal plane, but we're going to be doing this on one leg. And so first we'll just do a 4-sit, and pull your leg up into a comfortable position. And what you're going to be doing here is leaning back, feeling the resistance, and try to feel that balance so that both sides of your glutes, the piriformis on both sides, is feeling a nice stretch. Reach up and high, press it in, reach back, and set that down. Let's just keep it simple for now. And we'll do the opposite side and drop it down. As we move through, we'll be able to do more complex movements, combine different balances so that it works well for you in whatever way that you'd like. For fun, let's just do on this frontal plane, think about what balance would look like there, and then step it down again. And to the opposite side, lift up and find your balance in the opposite direction. Now, depending on how much balance work you do and have done, you may want to keep a knee in right? So you could come here to put a knee in rather than going full extension. The more narrow you are, the easier it is to balance. For the transverse movement on a single leg, what we're going to do is pull up, find our balance, kick out, and then swing around the body and find an airplane. And then do the opposite direction. Come back up, pull that leg in, find the balance, kick it out, and swing around and find an airplane. And again, what you're doing in all these movements is kind of always becoming a little bit imbalanced. So let's put those three movements together. So we'll drop into force it here, right? So we have a sagittal movement. We'll go into the frontal movement, bring it back, kick it out, and swing it around, and have that airplane. And again, let's do it on the flip side. So as we come up and in, we'll drop down, come back up into the frontal plane, and then bring it forth and swing around into the airplane again. So let's do another move here. This is going to be crescent. And I want you to, what we're trying to do here is be in alignment. The wider we make this, like if we stand on railroad tracks, it's perfectly fine if that's where your balance is. So what you're going to do is as you narrow the stance, the balance becomes more difficult. And so as you squat down, let's think about taking the arms and pulling them from above and dropping down nice and deep and coming up. And let's maybe we reach back and really challenge your balance as you reach back and feel that stretch up through the core. See that I'm losing my balance a little bit, just part of the plan. And let's dive out into a Superman and lift and set it back, come over the top and switch it around. So again, narrow that stance. Even though I'm going side to side here, this is on the sagittal plane because I'm really going forward and I hope you are as well. So we're going to drop down, pull our body down, and then lift up. And as you do, straighten that front leg and begin to get a little arch in your body. Get a good stretch, feel that balance being challenged, and then lean out and find Superman on the opposite side and come back in. So now on a frontal plane, we're going to do a little bit of a swing and drop down in, press up, and drop down in. As you're doing side to side, you can play with how your feet are positioned from a balance perspective. When you roll up onto a heel, because you have less foot touching the ground, it's a little bit of a more challenging balance typically, but you want to find what's comfortable for you. And again, the ranges of movement. The other thing that's really important, I think, is that when you change your positioning, you're also changing where you're stretching your body. And so it might be nice is to come across your body and lean out as you come across all the way out and challenge that balance. Feel yourself leaning way forward so that you're almost falling forward, and then you're going to come back around again and stretch and come back out around and stretch it. All right, let's do that one more time to each direction and breathe all the way out and come around and breathe and stretch all the way out. So what I want you to be thinking about is ways that you can challenge your balance by moving into a single limb, whether we go sideways and just lift our bodies up. So it's kind of a Superman, but it's done to the side. Think about doing a cartwheel. Come over to the opposite side. Press into that single leg. Now you're going to squat out of that leg and press yourself up and find your balance. And again, let's come the opposite direction. Arms are pulling through, leaning down and press Gonna single leg squat out of there and reach and find that balance. And what's great is everybody's working on their own ranges. So let's rotate through. If we narrow this stance, as we rotate, we drop in, bring your back leg behind your front, and it narrows your stance. But we're still getting this full rotation through here. Now we're gonna come the opposite direction. Move it out, then drop back down in. Now what I want you to do is extend it a bit, and you're gonna stretch out over that leg and reach around across your body and get back up into one leg. Now as you come down, hold that single leg and reach. Just that's my balance, just part of the plan. Coming across, right? And now I want you to reach again. So see how my toes on that back, it's kind of like a kickstand, and then you just lean out when you find that balance and reach. Maybe you play with your back foot a little bit. We'll do it on the opposite direction, reaching far out, finding balance, playing. Fitness is about putting yourself in a position where you're capable of doing whatever it is you ask your body to do. And so this is all around the capability of not losing your balance, right? The better you're able to pull yourself out of an imbalanced position and find your center, then the likelihood that you're losing your balance is significantly decreased. We'll go ahead and rotate through here fully. Maybe lean in on that front leg, kickstand, come back and bring it maybe right up over the top of your body with your arms nice and slow, leaning back a little bit. Feel that stretch in hip flexors as you come through, and rotate around again and stretch across and come back on up over, stretching and breathing. And now I'd like you to be in a really big X, pressing your body forward. Drive your arms up, pull your shoulder blades down your back, and feel yourself stretching and balancing in that extended position. Pull sideways, roll that foot up, get a nice stretch, come across, flex the chest, drop in the opposite direction, come on across, and let's press down. Now we're gonna cool down a little bit. Balance work tends not to be as intense cardiovascularly, so it won't have as much to recover from, but I want you to find your balance in a squat that's appropriately deep for you. And by find your balance, I mean find that place where you're pressing into your feet, you're loading it up, and you're ready to go, and you feel perfectly balanced. And you're gonna come on up, find your tiptoes, all the way to the top, and then you're gonna just squat it down, all the way down, nice and deep, all the way through, and come up. Let's do one more force it, nice and gentle. Get a nice stretch, a nice balance. Maybe even come all the way over and hang. Come on out, pull it up, bring it on across, and drop it down again. And again, in 15 minutes, we've worked on everything, emphasizing balance. Hope that was really helpful. Thank you again.